Hey guys, welcome back to Coin Knowledge. So today, I just want to go over here and kind of give you guys again my updated thoughts. I like to do this every once in a while, let you guys know. Obviously Bitcoin and the altcoin market has been kind of stagnant, kind of boring over the last couple weeks here, as we saw Bitcoin starting to dip. Ever since the post halving, and then it has kind of just been settling around the 60 to 63,000 range. So what am I doing at these current levels? First of all, am I bearish? Am I bullish? Do I think the Bitcoin top has been in? Well, the short and skinny answer to that is no, I do not think the bull market is over. I actually think that we have not seen anything yet. If you look over the 1 year, obviously we can see Bitcoin going into quarter 3 or quarter 4 of 2023. Bitcoin had a bunch of bullish price action. If you really look here, I mean, even this dip from 46 to 40,000 isn't a big dip, like a 15% correction. And so we haven't really had a big massive pullback. And then we saw Bitcoin break previous all-time highs before the halving, which has never happened before. So this pullback is definitely a healthy, much needed pullback. And if we go to the alt chart, nothing honestly looks that crazy, especially when we go, leading up to the halving in 2020. We can see that, similar price action here, towards the end of the year. It was doing very well. And then obviously what happened there with the pandemic kind of threw off quite a bit. So it was kind of an anomaly. But even then, Bitcoin pre-halving had a dip, and then even after the halving, kind of just was boring for a little bit, and then the summer kind of started to we saw a rise, and then a year later, 12 months later, Bitcoin put in a new all-time high, at around that 60K level, and then it dipped for the summer, and then came back again. We had another shot, and then it topped out at I believe the end of November 2021. So, do I think we're going to see a similar price action here for this upcoming bull market? Well, traditionally, the bull market or the Bitcoin can top out about 6 to 18 months after the Bitcoin halving. So, we have anywhere from again in that time frame traditionally. Now, obviously, everything could potentially be different, even though we have followed the Fourier cycle pretty closely up until this point. So, with Bitcoin ETFs, with it being an election year, I do see, Bitcoin. I personally am looking at more of a, end of 2025, for a potential top, but it could be shorter than that. It could be longer than that. Nobody really knows. But during these times, I think that you shouldn't be shaken out of your bags. If you have your favorite positions, definitely start putting a portfolio together. If you have a bunch of crap coins in your portfolio, definitely start, maybe consolidating them and really just put into your high conviction plays before we start seeing the altcoin market really start to rip, because we haven't seen an altcoin season yet. That is what I'm sure of. Now, a couple that I'm looking at here, we'll kind of start from kind of a higher safety, quote unquote safety net coins, and then kind of go a little bit more heavier into the gaming sector, which is what we primarily focus on here. Obviously, I think that gaming, AI are going to be very, very hot this cycle. Two of the biggest narratives this cycle for sure, gaming and AI. Obviously, you could put DPIN, RWAs right there also, but again, there's a few other narratives that will do well like DPIN, RWAs, Bitcoin scaling solutions, layer ones, layer twos, never fail, obviously. So we'll talk about one of those here in this video. So, a few that I'm looking at, Solana, I think Solana is not done yet. I think that Solana could still, beat its previous all-time highs, which is about, a little less than a 2x from here. But I do see Solana, going to maybe that $300 to $500 range with this cycle. And that could be conservatively. Let me know your guys' comments or thoughts in the comments on any of these projects that we talk about today. Love to hear them. And, moving on, going through, Avalanche here. Obviously, I've never made it hidden. I'm very, very bullish on Avalanche. I do hold Avalanche myself. We were buying in the bear market about $12 to $13 here. So, pretty good position on Avalanche. And then we only saw, earlier this year, even about $60, so about almost a 50% correction from this year alone. So I do see Avalanche again I think it's going to beat its previous all-time highs of about $120. I see Avalanche as a $250 coin this bull market, just with everything they have going on, all their partnerships, every real-world company getting into Avalanche just makes way too much sense with their subnet technology. I think Avalanche is a no-brainer. Now, if we start going down the gaming sector, one I do want to bring up before we go into that is Techum. I don't talk a whole lot of outside of crypto gaming or Web3 gaming on this channel, but Techum is one that I do hold in my portfolio, and I think that right now Techum at $14 at $100 million market cap is a no-brainer, is a insane DCA level in my opinion. It is a layer 1 and a layer 2 Bitcoin layer 2 scaling solution. They can actually scale any blockchain. There's a lot going on there. Let me know if you want to see a dedicated video on Techum and give you guys my thoughts. Again, I don't traditionally talk outside of gaming on this channel, but let me know, and I'd love to do that. But Techum is one that I'm definitely accumulating. I just thought it was way too good of a level for me to not bring it up, so Techum is definitely one there. Now, if we go back to gaming, now we're going to go through these a little bit quicker because a lot of these I have talked about in the past, but I'm just giving you guys my updated thoughts during this market trend right now. So the three that you guys know that I consider to be kind of the three titans as far as, market caps go in the space is Immutable X, and I view these three as somebody who isn't really in the gaming narrative or gaming sector in the trenches like we are, but they want exposure to gaming because they believe that gaming is going to do well this cycle. So I think Immutable X is, obviously the Bitcoin in the gaming sector. I think if you have Immutable X and you just want broad exposure to gaming, I think Immutable X will give you decent returns at about a 5 to maybe 10x. Beam, is another one that I see Beam definitely hitting, 10, 15, $20 billion in circulating market cap. I wouldn't be really shocked there, but I think Beam is another big titan in the space. Ronin, I think, is still undervalued right now at these levels. Ronin is definitely one that I'd be accumulating. Now, if we go to a little bit more of the mid caps, and again, I'm not going to bring up every single gaming altcoin that is in my portfolio or that's on my watch list in this video. This will be a super long video at that point. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments, or you can join my free Discord linked below. Please get in there. Really appreciate all you guys that have gotten in there to help grow that community. And let me know if you have any questions. I'll answer any questions you guys put in there. I love talking to you guys. So if we put here, if we look here at Mavia, now Mavia I think is not done at all. And I've said this multiple times on this channel, made several Mavia videos. I definitely still and always have seen Mavia as a Gala Games killer of this cycle. I think with their Ethereum layer 2 that they're building, the fact that they have, games that they're building in-house, their Meta Rush game is coming to Epic Games in July of this year, 2024, which could be a big catalyst for the ecosystem. They have, I think, over 100 or 150 games coming to their platform. Developers can launch on Mavia. Their chain really has no fees. They have nodes in their ecosystem as well. A lot of this is sounding familiar to Gala, and even more than what Gala was last cycle, and Gala got to a $5 billion market cap. So for me, I'm looking at Mavia as a potential into the multi-billions dollars in market cap this cycle. So at these levels, I think Mavia is a absolute steal. I mean, we saw Mavia break over a penny and a half, towards the end of 2023, and then you honestly got back to the levels again in March. So obviously they were testing all-time highs twice, and right here was even after the gaming run, when gaming kind of had faded off and drifted off a little bit after the end of last year. So very impressive. So I think right now at these levels, if you, again, we're waiting for an entry point on Mavia. We were buying Mavia, throughout the bear market, so we're sitting pretty well in our bags here. But I do hold a decent amount of Mavia myself, full disclosure. But I do think at these levels, at $100 million market cap, I think Mavia still has so much room to run. And a big thing that, again, you always hear about Mavia is the dilution issue. Whereas, yes, at one point back in the bear market, this was a concern. Right now, if you look at it, Mavia doesn't even have really a 2x in dilution from now until the end of 2025. So the dilution is not so much a concern for me personally, especially when we have a lot of gaming coins now that have a 10, 12, 15x dilution, especially on these newer gaming launches. So again, guys, it's not always about, chasing these tiny micro cap new gaming altcoins. It's, you always have to look at the alt or the dilution that's going to be occurring too within that altcoin. So again, Mavia with only about a 2x in dilution from here until my supposed expected bull run top towards the end of 2025. Obviously, I could be wrong, could be earlier, could be later. With a 2x dilution for the quality that they have building, I'm very bullish on Mavia. So I think Mavia at these levels is a great accumulation zone, especially the fact that it is 70% down from its all-time highs, and fundamentally nothing has changed in the project. So again, I think these are great levels to be accumulating Mavia. Here's a Mavia. Again, they also reduced their token emissions by 80% from now until February 2025. So right now they have 12% circulating market cap or circulating supply. I think from now until February 2025, only 2% more of the supply is going to be coming out. So very, very minimal dilution between now and February 2025. And then even afterwards, it is a long vesting schedule for a lot of their tokens. So, I do see Mavia definitely being one of the leaders in the mobile gaming space within Web3 gaming. So very bullish there. The chart looks very healthy. I mean, we saw Mavia run up to $10 post-launch. And now that we are, again, back at these $3.5 ranges, if you're bullish on mobile gaming, then I think Mavia is definitely going to be one that you want to keep your eyes on. Citus slash Senate, because I am bullish on both. I do hold both. I've said that multiple times on other videos. Again, just being transparent with you guys. I think Citus is a sleeping giant. Now, it is rare for me to look at an altcoin with a chart like this, and still be bullish on. But they did launch, towards the very tail end of the last bull cycle, so I will give them that. They have not seen a full, proper bull run. And over the last year, the chart has been, picking up a lot of momentum. I think Citus, with their Citus pad, with their games they have in production, I think it's like 14 or 17 games in their ecosystem that they're building out. I think that Citus is a very bullish ecosystem that I definitely have my eyes on. I think at these levels it's undervalued. And, Senate too. Senate is a governance token, the other token in their ecosystem. Both play a part with their launchpad as well that we've talked about in other videos. You can find that. But again, Senate is sitting at I think an $8 million market cap at the time of recording this video. I think both are a steal. And I think when Citus is going to run, which I do believe it will, Senate has the potential to run harder, just given the lower market cap within the ecosystem. But again, nothing I say is financial advice, just letting you guys know my opinions. Now, here is a sleeping giant in the space that I've talked about so many times here, is GameSwift. Now, if you're not familiar with what GameSwift is a gaming infrastructure play. They do have their, GameSwift blockchain, which is it's the first, and to my knowledge, one of the only, I think Blast might be, but one of the only ZK EVM modular blockchains in the gaming space. So I think that it has a first mover advantage. They also have games being built on GameSwift, like Star Heroes, which came out this year, which did very, very well. They also have, I believe, a launchpad, or if you stake G Swift, you have access to allocations and airdrops for other projects, which is very bullish. I believe they're gonna be having nodes in their ecosystem. I've heard those rumors, but cannot find that confirmed. But that could be a bullish catalyst if that happens. But again, I've just heard rumblings and rumors of that, and the fact that they again have. I consider GameSwift to be a little bit more of like a degen play compared to Immutable X. And if we look at Immutable X, they're doing very similar things, except again, GameSwift is that ZK EVM modular blockchain, whereas Immutable X is not. And Immutable X is sitting at a $3.3 billion market cap, and GameSwift at a sub $20 million market cap. Now, I think GameSwift, I'm gonna put this right here. I think GameSwift runs to half a billion dollar market cap. No problem. Next gaming, when we see gaming truly run in the true bull, that's where I see GameSwift really going. But that's my conservative estimate, and maybe I might be too bullish or too bearish on GameSwift. Let me know your guys' opinions, but I'm very bullish on GameSwift. And actually, if you look at the vesting schedule, please don't be one of those guys that sees a circulating market cap and a fully diluted market cap and says, "Oh, bad tokenomics," and you stop there. Look at the vesting schedule. Go on Chainbroker. Go on CryptoRank. Go to the team's, website, the project white paper. Ask them in the Telegram, Discord. Get the vesting schedule, get the tokenomics, see where the allocations are getting vested when, before you say bad tokenomics or great tokenomics. You have to look at these things if you're going to be investing in these markets. That's one thing I didn't do last bull market, and it really bit me. So that's one thing I would definitely recommend to you. But on GameSwift, I mean, really, even though they don't have a lot of their tokens in supply, 44% of their supply is locked up, and they're only going to be having about a I think it's about a 4.5 x in dilution from now until the end of 2025, December. So again, not a bad dilution for how bullish their ecosystem potentially could be, for everything that they're building, with all the games they're partnering with, especially when, again, a lot of these newer gaming altcoins have over a 10x in dilution, and most of them are just single games. So when you're betting on an infrastructure play like this, I see a lot more upside, a lot more potential in kind of spreading your bets all underneath one coin. So GameSwift, definitely one that I'm mega bullish on, and I'll take that statement and that stance here any day. So let me know your comments there. Corpo is a gaming hub, gaming studio that, again, very bullish on. You're going to hear me say that a lot, but if I wasn't bullish on a project, it wouldn't have made this specific video. So easy enough there. Corpo, I think, again, also has about a 5x in dilution from now until the end of 2025, I want to say. And at a $20 million market cap, I mean, these guys have Citizen Conflict that they're building out, which is a great shooter game that I honestly think has higher quality than the likes of Shrapnel, Bloodloop, but that's just me. Again, I would kind of compare it maybe to a Nyan Heroes. It's similar a little bit as far as the quality goes, but I think it's being slept on. For whatever reason, I don't know, but I think it is being slept on personally. And they also have Animates, which is kind of like a Pal World Pokemon style game. And then they have Egos, which I think is going to be like a mobile game. So Corpo World, they have a docs team, huge team. If you go in there and take a look at their, their ecosystem, they have a game launcher. Again, Corpo World at these levels, and it is a newer altcoin, which again is rare to find a newer gaming altcoin that launched this year that doesn't have a crazy dilution issue. Very rare, and at this market cap, I think that this, if, when gaming comes around or the market even turns around, not even in a gaming season after this launch, it climbed well over $1. So I think that Corpo long term definitely has room to be in a couple dollars for sure. Let me know in the comments below there. So the last two is going to be, OTK, which I've talked about, again, so many times. OTK is a mobile gaming aggregator on Solana. I think that if you don't have exposure to Solana gaming, I think OTK is a great low cap option because it is on Solana. I do think Solana, as we talked about in the beginning of this video, is going to do very well. I think gaming on Solana is being heavily slept on right now, simply put, there's not that many high quality Solana gaming projects. I mean, some honorable mentions, sure, are obviously OTK, Honeyland, Legends of Illumia. I like Mixmob, which we'll talk about next, actually. And then, that's primarily it. Decimated, obviously. Decimated is a great one. But again, I'm bullish on mobile gaming, and the fact that they have a working product. You can download the Octo Gaming app on your phone right now, completely free. They have great reviews. Again, the games are very easy to play. They have a reward system built in on their app, so it is play to earn. I think once people find out more about the earning potential when they do their tournaments, or you can earn gold in exchange for real world rewards, I think OTK has a bunch of bullish factors from it for sure. And again, one that just kept on forming new highs. So this big pullback was definitely needed. I mean, we're 60% down from all-time highs. Definitely one that I think is a healthy correction for sure. Look at their exchange listings. I mean, they have KuCoin and then DEXs. They have said that they're going to have more centralized exchange listings coming, which, again, to me can only be a bullish catalyst. And the team is docked. You can find it in their white paper, and they do AMAs as well. So you can definitely find that there also. So OTK is one that I'm very, very bullish on personally. Mixmob, a sleeping gaming project on Solana. Now, one thing that a lot of people get wrong with Mixmob is that it's not just one game they're racing, the card racing game that they're building out, Racer 1. It actually is a gaming studio. They have other games that's coming out in their ecosystem as well. You can find in their white paper, the team's talked about it. And as far as dilution goes, it's not that heavy, actually, which, again, we were talking about this whole video, finding newer gaming altcoins that don't have bad dilution. mixmob doesn't have bad dilution really, especially when you compare it to others in the space. And I think that, a lot of this, negative price action here more recently, I think potentially could have come from the fact that, when we saw it dip here about 3 cents or so, I think the big jump here potentially came from the fact that they said that they were going to launch their mobile app on May 7th, and then it got delayed to, I believe, the 14th. So that's actually coming up here, you know, any day now. So I think that could be another big catalyst here. And the game does look quality. I'm excited to get my hands on it and play it. But I think Mixmob is another one that I'd be looking at if you're looking for a lower gaming altcoin pick on Solana that doesn't have terrible dilution. I'd be looking at Mixmob, and the team's really experienced as well. Now, that's kind of what I'm looking at here, guys, just a couple ones, but the overall point of this video is to let you know that, a lot of these projects I'm DCAing in heavily right now because, again, I don't think that Bitcoin's done. I don't think the bull market's done at all. Again, I don't think we've seen anything truly yet. Yes, Bitcoin went to $72,000. Cool. It was also, I was saying it the whole time, I thought it was crazy that Bitcoin broke all-time highs before the halving, and no one seemed to really talk about it. It didn't seem like it was that big of a deal, which was nuts. But either way, again, I think we're still very, very early. I think that the summer, and another thing, everyone says that, everyone wants Bitcoin to break and to start running tomorrow, next week, next month, 2 months from now. Well, you say that, but if Bitcoin takes another 6 months, 10 months before, it puts its top in, then that is that much more time for you to DCA into your favorite high conviction plays, which is what I'm doing. Again, don't get shaken out of your bags. Or if you're all in right now, your capital is all in and you're tapped, you've done the easy part. The hardest part now is just, if you have your portfolio set how you want it, just sit on your hands and do nothing. Just don't sell anything, don't swing trade. Just, unless you are a day trader, then congrats, but a lot of people suck at it, myself included. Again, I'm more of a long-term investor. I do short-term trades sometimes I let you guys know about, but again, I do think that long-term investing mindset is going to be how you win the game here. But again, crypto is a very, very emotional game, so if you are, in some of your altcoins that are down, 50, 60, 70% from the all-time highs, just sit on your hands and just wait this thing out. I think we have a raging bull market in front of us, and I'm excited to see what comes. So again, please don't get shaken out of your bags. You are so close to the bull market. Please don't give up now. And again, what I'm doing right now is I'm DCAing currently. If you want to know what I'm DCAing to, you can join my Patreon, or I do have my Discord, again, linked below. Now, if you guys got value out of this video, if you guys want to like the video, comment, subscribe to the notification bell, and share the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, see you guys.